You're watching ESC Fan TV.
Hello, good evening. It's Sunday night, it's ESC Fan TV, and we are here with a panel from across the globe to review 4 more of the entries in this year's Eurovision Song Contest. Coming up tonight, the panel are going to give their views on Australia, Ukraine, Estonia, and San Marino. In the meantime, don't forget, like and subscribe, keep up to date with all the latest content, and also have a natter in the chat room. And in the chat room this evening, nattering to you all, it's going to be the lovely Stuart. Hey, Stu.
Good evening, Tom, and good evening to our chatters in the chat room already chatting away about tonight's show, Tom. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a good one. Can't wait to talk about some of these songs tonight. I think we've got some great entries to discuss.
There are some absolute crackers. Now, we're just going to quickly run around the panel as well, just to introduce them all. We don't want them all feeling left out. So we're going to go straight to Elliot. Hey, Elliot.
Evening, everybody. Yeah, it should be a good show. I'm looking forward to this. Let's go.
Hey, without coincidence, let's go straight to Gustaf. Good evening, Gustaf.
Good evening, guys. Omen is killing me right now, but I'm so happy to be here.
Hey, also joining us from Australia, it's the lovely Michael. Hey, Michael.
Hey, guys. How are you? Good morning, all. Good evening, Europe.
Hey, we've also got to Michael's left, we've got Tristan. Hey, Tristan.
Hello there. Good evening. Looking forward to tonight's show.
Hey. Also, a big welcome back to the lovely Jude. Hey, Jude. And then we've also got Phil and Michelle. Hey, Phil and Michelle.
Hiya!
Good day.
Hello.
Now, I can't help but feel you two have engaged in a bit of competition with Oben this evening. Hey, Oben. Yeah,
sorry, I cannot unmute myself with this song. So, good evening, everybody. Good evening. How are you? I'm so excited. We are all in pinks tonight. There's only one reason, and very good reason.
Yeah, it's fine, Oben. I mean, I'm going to ask you a serious question here. If you were having a competition between you and Phil and Michelle, who do you reckon won?
I mean, I always knew that I have to be adopted by Phil and Michelle. And here is just one proof that we belong to each other. As threesome, I mean trio. So I could only match this beautiful outfit the best I can with my socks and underwear, and that's all I have.
Says it all, really, doesn't it? Right, guys, let's crack on with the show. The first entry we are going to talk about this evening is Australia. Yes, Montaigne is back. Yeah, having not had the chance to represent the country last year with Don't Break Me. This year, she's back in glorious Technicolor. Now, Australia, obviously, 100% qualification record from the semi-finals. Best ever placing came in 2016 with Danny Im when she came second. I could be preaching to the choir, but Michael, come on. Australia this year, awesome entry, yes?
So I think, g'day. Look, can I just say, I think this is a marked improvement on last year's song. And I think it's actually a really, really interesting song. Montaigne is being, the performance which you see is at a big open studio, open air performance, and it's a live performance. That's the video we've got. It's the same which we did last year for Hiking. This song goes to some really, really interesting places. It's a risky song, but you know what? We're not in it to come. Well, maybe we were once. And I think we go hard, go strong. And Montaigne this year is showcasing it. And can I just tell you, listen to that first time and see, would she hit those notes? And you know what? It actually wasn't a bad effort at all. And I think with some awesome staging, this is going to shine when we come to Rotterdam this year. You know, there's nothing better than being in a semi-final and waiting for that 9th and 10th place to be announced for the final. We love a little bit of excitement down under. And I think Montaigne's going to be it.
Cool. I like that. The hint there that Australia could be one of the last countries to be announced. Phil and Michelle, obviously, you guys, massive Montaigne fans. If you were long-time viewers of the show, you'll know last year for the Australia Decides review show, Michelle and Phil dressed up in blue wigs. This year, Montaigne has gone pink. Oh, and so have Phil and Michelle. I could even suggest that it was just a wig that went round the washing machine and got dyed pink. Guys, what are your thoughts on Montaigne's entry this year?
I don't like it. I love it. I think it's the most underrated song that there is this year at Eurovision. I mean, the bookies reckon it's not going to quali, and I think you'd have to be daft to think it isn't. She did sing it live outside in a huge stadium where the sound isn't going to be that good or anything, and I think in the studio of Eurovision where it's gone through to within an inch of its life, I think she'll perfect it, and I think it will stand out a mile. It's absolutely fantastic. It's a brilliant song.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a difficult song to sing though, but if she can nail it,
she hit that note outside. Yeah.
I mean, she's going to have to really nail it 4 times. You know, the jury semi, the jury final, and the main final. But if she can perform it well and do the dance routine, I think this could be amazing.
I think it will be amazing.
I agree. It's really overrated. And I agree with Michael. It's better than last year's song.
It's not very often that we agree on things, but
No.
yeah, we do on this. It's brilliant. The song, the lyrics are brilliant as well.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else like it.
And,
It does stand out.
It's not your standard formulaic banger. It's an original sounding song.
It's an original banger.
Yeah, it stands out.
Okay, now, Elliot, I mean, let's actually think about this. Does Montaigne stand a chance of qualifying? Is this going to be a shock non-qualifier on the night? What do you think?
I mean, semi-final one is incredibly hard. We've got to acknowledge that like good songs are going to fall. I think this song is getting through. It's the only song like it in the competition. It's very Marino and the Diamonds. It's very British. It's very current. Her voice is fantastic. Yeah, she's actually one of the only few people who's actually done a proper live performance of this song this year. And as they said, she was singing outside. She admitted she was incredibly nervous. And she still did a very good job for the bulk of that performance. And even we saw this with Don't Break Me. The staging she was going to do, Kate wasn't going to qualify after she won Australia Decides, gets a top 10 finish. So I do see this going through because I think the juries will really appreciate its artistry, how different it is, how it stands out. And I loved Don't Break Me last year, but I really love this. The lyrics are brilliant. You know, I want to be close to my mother. I want there to be I want a future I can walk towards. Like, they're powerful. These are powerful lyrics that she's wrote. And yeah, I think Australia, every year the fans say Australia's going to not qualify, but I just think it's because they're bitter that they're in the contest and because they actually send good stuff. Like, I don't understand the hate, this dismissing of Australia every year, because this is going through, I think. I would be very surprised and disappointed if Montaigne didn't make it.
And I think that's a valid point there, isn't it? Because Australia have been so consistent with the quality of the entries they have sent even over the years. Now, Tristan, let's come to you. Obviously, Don't Break Me versus Technicolor. Is this a step up this year? Has she actually taken things up a gear this year? Which one would you prefer?
I prefer this year's. I love it. I think it's so different. As Elliot said, Faye Marino and the Diamonds. It's such a complicated song and it's interesting. I think it will definitely qualify as well. I'm not sure how it will do in the final. I have a feeling this will probably start semi-final one, and it will just be such a memorable occasion. People are going to say, "Well, that's good," but it wasn't as exciting as the very first song we saw. And I think it'll get through on that basis. It is great, and her live performance at Sydney Mardi Gras was outstanding. I mean, I wasn't even. I thought that maybe it wasn't even live, but it was live. It was just so good.
Okay, cheers, Tristan. Now, I want to come to the other three panelists, but I've got a specific question for you. The two-part question. Do you see Australia qualifying to the final? And if you do, where are we pitching this? Where do we think realistically Australia are going to end up finishing this year? And I'm going to go to Gustaf first.
Of course you are.
It's because I love you. It's fine.
What were the questions? Sorry, I forgot.
Is Australia going to qualify? And if it qualifies for the final, where can you realistically see it being placed this year?
Yes, it's going to qualify because it's an amazing song. And everyone who says that it's not an amazing song, you are wrong. And that's facts. However, it's probably going to be in the middle of the scoreboard on the final, but it deserves more.
Okay, we're aiming for mid-table for Montaigne there. Let's go to Stu next.
Thanks, Tom. Look, I don't see any problems with this qualifying from its semi-final. In fact, because it's drawn in the first half, I think this will open the semi-final, and I think this is the perfect song to open the semi-final. And Montaigne has a really popular type song, very current, sort of thing we hear in the charts all the time. And isn't that what Australia should be proud of sending? Something that's really current and represents the Australian music scene, and this really does. And I'm here for it. I think it's a fantastic song, and I can't see a scenario where Australia doesn't qualify. I can't see Australia winning Eurovision this year, but I don't think they'll have a bad Eurovision. And anyone who thinks that they aren't going to qualify needs to probably look back over the last 4 or 5 years to see how they do in the semi-finals. And I expect Montaigne to bring it in Rotterdam. I expect a really polished performance on stage. And I think it's going to be one of the surprise growers during the Eurovision week. So I really do. I really think it's a really good one. Can I just make a point though? Because I was very, very impressed by what Tristan was wearing a few minutes ago. Can we just bring Tristan back on screen for a second? Because I just thought this was lovely. Tristan, you put me in mind of a film, my friend, and I just thought I would grab a screen grab. There you go. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. I just thought that was very apt. There we go. Thanks.
We love it. Look at the competition. I mean, what is it with the panel this evening? I mean, we've got underwear, we've got wigs, we've got blooming bagpuss wrapped around a neck. Blimey. Let's go to Oban. Oban, what's your predictions for Australia?
I think I am the only one who thinks that. I think Technicolor, I love it. I liked it more than Don't Break Me, but I think this is not going to qualify. I always got this wrong, but I have this feeling that Australia and Lithuania will be the two of the shocking non-qualifier. So I see Australia's chances a little bit getting tighter to qualify, but personal taste, I love it. I prefer it over Don't Break Me. I have it on my playlist. Every time I drive, I listen to the song. One of the must listen song, almost my work. But having said that, I think it's one of the shocking non-qualifiers in 2021 in Rotterdam.
Controversial. Obviously, we've never hold anything against anyone on this show. So, Oban, 21st of March, shock. Sorry, I'll deal with that later. Jude, let's get your view, and then we're going to move on.
Yeah, so for me, this song is kind of like a 7 out of 10. It grows on me every single time I hear it. So I think that's a positive, and that the more people hear it, they are going to like it more. And her vocals are just incredible. I think this song really shows off an incredible vocal range. I think it will qualify, but just to reiterate what most people have said, I don't see it finishing top 5 or top 7. But I don't see why it wouldn't qualify, because she sounds absolutely fantastic and it's a grower.
Hey, thanks for that, Jude. Now, having gone to the sunny climes of Australia, we take ourselves across to Eastern Europe to another country with a 100% qualification record. Yes, we're off to the Ukraine, where Go A, who you may have seen making a small cameo at the start of today's show, are back again, and this time they're going to be singing the song Shum. Now, they won in 2016. They've always qualified as well for the semi-final. Let's not forget, it's a bit of a semi-final of death, semi-final one, and they happen to be rooted in that. But first of all, let's get some views on the song, and let's go straight to Gustaf. Go A, what are you thinking with this song? What's your instincts telling you?
Well, I have been told to be a bit nicer, so I'm going to give Ukraine A for effort because they sent a song. It's not a very good song, but it's a song, so I'm happy with that.
Wow, it's a song. They're all songs, Gustaf. It's a song contest.
Some countries have been struggling with sending songs this year, so they sent a song.
I think you've got a kindred spirit in Neil in the chat. If we could just put the comment back up there. Shum translates as noise. I think, come on, panel. There's got to be some... Tristan, let's go across to you.
Well, Ukraine is my number one of all 39 songs. I love it. Go A were my favourite last year as well. When I first heard the song, I loved it. But the revamp is fantastic. And the revamp has made it even better. I preferred last year's originally. But with the revamp of Shum, it's better than last year's. It is so good. And the way that it speeds up and all that exciting video with everyone. Oh, it's a brilliant video with everyone in Pripyat in near Chernobyl, dressed in those white suits, and they start dancing quickly, and the whole tempo of the song changes. It's just so exciting, and we've not had anything like this in Eurovision probably since Bulgaria in 2007 with Elitsa and Stoyan singing "Water," which came fifth. This is definitely going to qualify. It's my favourite. It won't win because it's just going to be a little bit too strange for the televoters. I think the jury will love it. But I can definitely see this coming top 5. The only shame is, obviously, there's 4 people in the band. There's only going to be room for another 2 more people on stage, 2 people dancing. It's a real shame because it's such a ravey song. It would be great if maybe they could use the backdrop videos and maybe incorporate their video in the performance so that you've got more people dancing on stage, as it were. It is absolutely brilliant, and I can't wait to see it. It's the thing I'm most excited about this Eurovision.
Hey, fantastic. And I'll be honest, I quite like this one compared to Solove. I wasn't that keen on Solove last year. Whereas this one, there's a couple of times I've heard it come on the radio or on my playlists and things like that. And it's one of those songs where it starts playing and then you're like, oh, what's that? And you have to look at it and you're like, oh, it's that one, because it's quite likable. Jude, I can see you nodding away there as well. Has this one grown on you as well?
I wouldn't say it grew on me. I think this is one of these songs, you've got the songs on in the background while you're doing your dishes or making up your bed, and you're like, what is that one? And you go over to check what country's playing. I think it's way better than last year. It's more upbeat, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. It's also not my type of music. There's just something very enticing about it, and I would really like it to do well on the night.
Hey, thanks for that, Jude. And I think this has real potential. Phil and Michelle, in an ideal world, how would you like to see this song staged?
I think it needs a bit of sort of fairly bonkers dancing.
Somebody on roller skates.
Well, no. Yeah, I think, it needs some dancers and some decent staging. But I think it's a good song.
I like it. I like the live version that she did for, I don't know if it was for Ukrainian TV, where the camera was quite tight in her head and she was just going like that with the shoulders, and she looked really fierce, and it was quite captivating. I really like that. I think they need to keep it simple. I don't think they need too much. I think they should have the bloke with the recorder. Should have the bloke with the recorder, but there's also, if you listen to it, a twangy thing. You need to get the man with a twanger on stage, because you always get an extra point for a weird instrument.
I also think they need to, with the staging, it needs to sort of gradually build up, because the song gradually gets faster and faster. And I think, you know, they need to capitalize on that somehow, and, you know, start off with a fairly simple staging and gradually throw more and more elements into it. And
the bloke with the recorder starts going mental and it speeds up.
Yeah, but, you know, it needs to build, but it's a good song, and I think it'll do well.
I think it'll do well as well. They've got it in in the betting, it's 12th, so it's down as not qualifying. But I think they're wrong. I think it is going to qualify. It's had 1.7 million views on YouTube of the new video, not of the remix and not of the old one. So I think this is going to do really well.
Interesting. Obviously, we've had lots going on in the chat room. Question in the chat for Elliot. Do you like Shum, Elliot? It comes from James.
In a word, yes. I really do like this. I agree with Phil and Michelle. There's a subtle intensity about the way Katerina performs, because she did the same with Solveig last year, where she does like little movements and she's got such a glassy stare, and I think it really, really works. Staging, I think they need to borrow basically what George did in 2016, and when that drop comes in, the lighting just needs to go up to like 11 and just, you know, convey that party atmosphere basically. Will it qualify? I don't know. I would love it to, but I'm not sure, but just because of how left field it is and how tough this semi-final is. But on a personal perspective, yeah, I'd have this go straight through. I think it's brilliant. I absolutely love it, and I pray it makes the final, because, again, like Australia, there's nothing like this in this contest, so we need it in the final on the Saturday night.
Interesting. Cheers for that, Elliot. Now, the thing is, there are lots of original songs in semi-final one. That is why it's so strong. Stuart, is it original enough to stand out?
Yeah, it's a really good song. I liked the song last year, actually. I thought Solveig was really good. This is very different, and I thought Tristan was on point when he said it reminded him of Bulgaria 2007. It does to me as well. Voda, absolutely. And if you think back to 2007, it really stood out because there was nothing like it. There was absolutely nothing like this at Eurovision 2021. It's already a really, really diverse year, I think. This song is going to, I think, translate well on stage in Rotterdam, and with no question in my mind, Ukraine will make it to the final. It's the big question is where they're going to finish, and I see this as a top 10. And yeah, good luck to them. I think it's a really good song, and 17th in the betting at the moment, by the way. So if you're looking for a decent bet to go and place prior to the rehearsals, which start in some point early May, then this is a good one, I think. That, without question, will not go unnoticed. Thanks, Tom.
And I will ask people with their Stuart betting bingo cards to please now cross off Ukraine from the Stuart has recommended you put some money on this one to bet. Every year. First one to recognise he's done a full house can have a ESC Fan TV badge. There we go.
It's 81. It's worth a bet.
There we go. Worth a bet. Just going to sweep up some final thoughts on this. Oban, where do you see Ukraine placing this year?
I mean, I am still in a huge debt to Michael, who I was like in struggle last show on Friday we did for the cultural orgasm. Drinks, bottoms up, Michelle and Phil. I was between Shum and Via Norge, and I was hoping that someone will catch up on that one. So I'm really thankful. This song, this year, there's nothing like it. And people remember, and this both statement is for the good reason. It's original, it's cultural, it's dynamic, it's memorable, it's a perfect Eurovision song, and I think it's a definite qualifier. It's not gonna win. I don't think it's going to make top 10, but it's going to be another case of 2018, where it was this vampire kid from Ukraine. I think it's
talking
going to
about Melovin.
result. Melovin. It's going to be the result is going to be the same as 2018, but it's definitely a beautiful color for 2021.
Hey, thanks for that, Oban. And finally, Michael, where can you see Ukraine finishing?
Now listen, this song is a Vegemite song. You either love it or you hate it. And as an Australian, I love this. This is my cultural orgasm moment, as you guys have heard on Friday. This is a song which is rooted in Ukrainian folklore and elevates it to something which is amazing and outstanding. This is my one song as well. This is everything, and I can't wait to see this stage in Rotterdam. And I really hope it qualifies, and I hope it makes it to the high left-hand side of the board, because like Stuart, I put a bit of cash on this to make the top 10. So, Ukraine, let's go.
Hey, thanks for that, Michael. Really positive about Go A. Looks like it's one to put a bet on. Get yourself down the bookies. John Boy reckoning it's going to finish 15th to 20th in the final, though. That doesn't bode well. But hey, I think 80 to 1 sounds like Stu's already gone and put a tenner on it anyway. Now, we're halfway through. It must be time to unveil another ESC Fan TV award. Now, you may be wondering, what award are we going to present to you tonight? Well, this one, it's in honor of one of our ESC Fan TV favourites. It's the lovely Gustaf. This is the Gustaf Award for Best Ballad. Okay, and we are looking for nominations from the panel. I thought what we'd do, just to make things more exciting, is kind of, lucky dip the panel, because Elliot loved this last week. So we're going to spin this wheel just to see who gets to nominate first. Why not? In for a penny, in for a pound. And we're going to go, oh, Michelle, you've won the Wheel of Fortune. Look at that. Fireworks and everything. No expense spared here. Michelle, who is your nomination? You are the first person to nominate for the Gustaf Award for Best Ballad.
Well, I'm picking Danny from Finland. He was the old man, and it was called
Sinä päivä kun kaikki raska mua.
Yeah, which means on the day when everyone loves me, and it's all about his funeral. But it's nice and cheery, and he's going, if these turn up, tell them to sod off. I don't want to make my funeral. And it's like, it's really funny, and it's really good, and it really should have won. So that's my choice, is Danny from Finland, from the national final.
Hey, thanks for that, Michelle. And to clarify for the people asking in the chat, yes, this is Best Ballad for 2021, and it can come from an Eurovision entry, one that's actually made it through to the contest, or alternatively, one from the national finals. Since we've asked Michelle, we may as well go over to Phil. Phil, what are your thoughts? Where's your nomination going?
I'm going to go back to the marathon that was San Remo and Orietta Berti with Quando ti sei innamorato, when you fell in love. It was like a middle-aged woman doing a proper classic, old-fashioned Eurovision song and belting it out. It was bloody lovely. I mean, it was never going to win. It was never going to go anywhere, but it was a nice bit of nostalgia, and I quite liked it.
Hey, let's continue going round the panel in an anti-clockwise fashion. Jude, what's your nomination?
So my Gustaf Award for Best Ballad this year is Amen. And of course, there's 2 Amens this year, and I've chosen Amen from Austria.
Excellent. And Tristan?
For me, this was the easiest question you could have asked. It absolutely melts my heart. It was a song that came, I believe, second in Portugal by Carolina des Landes, Por Triz. Absolutely beautiful ballad. It's very similar sort of style to Adele's "Someone Like You," in that it's about a woman talking about the past love and not wishing really ill on her former partner, but just saying how close they could have been to becoming the perfect couple. But they got so close by a whisker, but the love has gone. Absolutely beautiful song, and I was so sad that didn't beat Black Mamba. Sorry, Stu.
Okay, cheers, Kristen. Michael, what's your nomination?
Sorry, off mute. So coming to the show late, I can't actually say, I haven't actually had a great think about it. But first of all, Harbour Bridge, driving across it, how culturally Australian is that? I'm going to go with Michelle. Danny's song about the funeral there, can I just tell you, that put me to tears. Without a thought about it, that was my moment, my little have a cry moment. That's what a ballad's about. So, without having great depth, I couldn't agree more with Michelle, and I would nominate it as well.
Hey, brilliant. Thank you, Michael. Oban, over to you.
Tom, bring out your pen and paper, write my words. My nominee will be the winner of Eurovision 2021. Yeah? And here it goes. Barbara from France. The biggest, the best ballad of the year. And will win this whole damn thing.
Interesting. I've written it down because you said you think it will win. I've just added that to the list, along with the fact that you reckon Lithuania and Australia aren't going to qualify at a semi-final one. There we go. Oban's got his crystal ball out this evening. Gustaf, let's go round to you.
Well, this is really hard for me because I love a good ballad, and I have so many that I love. But after a good thinking, I came to the conclusion that there's only one ballad that touched my heart. Really, yeah, it's just, I still can't listen to it without crying, and it's Kim from Norway with My Lonely Voice. It's the best one, and it should win.
See, this is interesting because you've picked a Norwegian ballad. I know someone's a fan of Norway. Stu, what have you picked?
I actually had so many that I could have picked, but my second choice was America from MGP. But there was one song which I felt had to win, or had to be my nomination. It's from Melfest, from the first semi-final, Natalie Bryan-Dorff, Fingerprints. I just found that to be one of the best songs I've heard this year, and I can't believe it didn't qualify from the semi-final or even get to Andres Johnson. That's my choice. Fingerprints, Natalie Bryan-Dorff.
Okay, Elliot.
Okay, so I'm going to need clarification as class as a ballad or not. I think it does, but I'm pretty sure some people won't. But I'm going for what I think is potentially the dark horse of Eurovision this year, and I'm going with Loxon with Amnesia. I think that is a beautiful song with a beautiful message behind it. And it is a ballad, I think, because
It's not a ballad.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. How is it not a ballad? The melody is not exactly throwing a hair around and doing slut drops, is it?
But it's not a ballad.
Bullshit. I call bullshit on that.
Oh, well, I'm gonna throw a song into the ring for best ballad. That I think this one, if a ballad's gonna win Eurovision, it's gonna be this one. And it's going to be Gijon's Tears song that is representing Switzerland this year. Come on, that's an amazing ballad. It may not be to everyone's taste, but I certainly think it deserves to be in the mix for Best Ballad. And we'll be voting on these and presenting the results later on in the season. Essentially, there's going to be an award every single show between now and mid-April, and then the awards will go live at the start of May as we have an exciting awards evening. Basically, an excuse for Stu to put a suit on. Now, look at him. He's happy already. Guys, let's move on with the reviews. This time, we're going to the Baltics. We're reviewing Estonia. It's Suviste, the lucky one. Estonia have an interesting relationship qualifying out of semi-finals. They last didn't qualify in 2016, but in actual fact, they failed to qualify 9 times and they've qualified for the final 8 times. So, is this going to be the year they level up and Uko makes it 9-9, qualifying for the final with a fantastic song? Oben, let's get your view.
I was in love with him last year and also with his song. And I am also in love with him this year and with his song. I really enjoyed it. I just every time I play the lucky one, I just sit back, relax, enjoy his beautiful eyes and his beautiful voice and his beautiful song and all the chains dropping all around him. And it's just a dream. It's just a dream, like out of body experience. Yeah, exactly. Who doesn't enjoy this view?
Sounds like you're more in love with Uku than the song. I'll be honest, Oben. I'm just kind of listening along to that. Let's go to Jude.
I concur with Oben that the singer is very aesthetically pleasing. I would also agree. I mean, it's a nice song. I can listen to it, but it doesn't hit the sweet spots for me. I could listen to it over and over, but it doesn't do anything. So, but then again, that's how I felt about the winner 2 years ago, and I know that might be an unpopular opinion. So. Yeah, I neither like it or dislike it. It's very listenable. But yeah, the singer's nice.
It's interesting looking for the sweet spot. Gustaf, does this hit your sweet spot? I know there's lots of chains and stuff kind of hanging down in the video. Is that going to be replicated in the staging? You know, is it going to hit your sweet spot?
The simple answer is no. I'm sitting here wondering why I am on tonight, and then I realized that I signed up because of Australia and Australia only. I don't like this song very much. It's kind of boring, but and it's a big but. He's very good looking, so I will give him points for that.
Yeah, he had a big but.
Do you know what? It's almost like, Gustaf, you have kind of replaced Elena with Jude and Oben, and instead of the Jeanette, Alina, Eric Sada love-in, we've got an Uku Suviste love-in between the three of you this evening. I'm gonna have to go to Phil and Michelle. Phil and Michelle, come on. Let's talk about the actual song. Surely this has got some really good credentials in it. I think it's got more character than last year. I think it's got the potential to be staged really, really well. Come on. Surely this song has potential to do really well for Estonia this year.
Well, Tom, I think you're delusional.
I think I've listened to this song over and over purely because every time I listen to it, I completely forget what it's like.
He is really tasty, though.
He might be a nice-looking guy.
He's really nice.
But for me, it's Eurovision by numbers. It's just you can imagine John Lundvik coming up with this.
That's right. Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah.
It's just fodder, Eurovision fodder. It doesn't stand out. For me, I don't remember it. You know, there's nothing terrible about it, but it's just forgettable. I
remember it, but just because of the nice bloke in it.
Yeah, you might remember what he looks like, but you don't remember the song.
No, I don't. Where are they in the betting to qualify through from semi-1? They are 11th, and I think semi-2. Sorry, I think that's right. I think it's about right. I think they won't qualify. It's not quite good enough. But don't like it.
I liked John Lundvik's song. I'm sorry. They're picking on me.
No, it just sounded it's sort of as if he'd rattled it out. You know, it's always another John Lundvik one. You know, that's what we meant. It just sounded like.
Yes, yeah. So basically, Stu, come on, Uku Suviste. Okay, Estonia may only be 11th in the betting to come out of that semi-final. Come on. fantastic staging. He's got a great video. He's got the looks. He's got the voice. This has to do well, surely.
Well, if there was a justice in the world, this would qualify because the song itself is, I think, really good and radio friendly and a bit of an earworm. And I love the video. I love him, actually. I think he dodged a bullet by not going to Eurovision last year, because I think his song last year was much weaker than this one. This is a really good song. It's third last in the betting, though. If you want to place a bet to win Eurovision, this is 499 to 1. So, yeah, if you've got money to burn, then place a bet. But he sings it really well, and he attacks the song. And he's good looking, as a couple of my panelists have already commented, and certainly a few people in the chat room have also commented. I must admit, though, I watched the video multiple times, and I'm much more focused on his partner in crime on the video. And if you haven't watched it, make sure you watch it at a certain time, because it's a little bit naughty, that's all I will say. I think it's a good song, probably won't qualify. I would say there's more chance that it won't than it will. But if you like this song, or if you want to listen to a song which is very radio friendly and you can listen to all day without getting bored, this is absolutely the song for you. It's a good song. Unfortunately, it's a good song in a great year. That's the problem.
It's a good song in a great year, but it's also a good song in what I'd have to say is the weakest semi-final, because I think all the decent songs are actually in semi-final 1. Just saying. Maybe there's a few exceptions to that. Tristan, I'm going to go to you. Where can Estonia realistically expect to finish this year?
I don't see it qualifying myself. I mean, first of all, I want to say that I loved his song last year. It was my 6th favourite song of 2020. So I like Suviste. I also agree with everyone. He's extremely good looking, probably the best looking contestant of male or female this year. But I'm afraid, and hopefully I won't get too much hate because I said how great he was last year. I'm afraid this is my 39th out of 39 at the moment. And it's not just sour grapes because Redel didn't win Estilao. I actually had 7 other songs in the Estonian finals I preferred to this song. I just don't like it. As Philip Michelle said, it doesn't really go anywhere. It promises so much at the start and then it sort of peters out. It's nothing. So no, I'm afraid it does nothing for me. But I do love him, and I think his song last year was outstanding.
Thanks for that, Tristan. Do you know what? It really pains me when I have to do this, to rely on someone sane, or go to someone who I think is going to offer a sane view, and realise one of the only panelists I have left to speak to is Elliot. You're laughing, you're smiling. I really get nervous when this happens.
Okay, to be honest, I honestly do think Estonia has potential to come dead last in the semi-final, to be honest. And it's not because it's a bad song or anything. Well, partly that. It's just that in Estilao, so in his own national selection, the international jury put him 8th. And if the international jury can't pick you as the winner in a field of 12, what hope have you got in a field of 18 of potentially of some songs that were stronger than the ones you couldn't beat? And it's all right. Yes, he's nice to look at, all that, but the song is just filler. Like it's filler. And yes, it's a strong male ballad, but also Vincent Bueno is in that half with a much stronger ballad. So any hope he does have of standing out was gone. So I think maybe unfairly, and it will be a shock when the results come out, I could see Estonia coming last because I just don't know where the votes are going to come from, sadly. So I don't know. I feel bad because obviously he had to re-enter Estilao and do it all over again and win. And yeah, I just think he's just not going to get a good result for it. So sorry.
Well, panel, you have excelled yourself, haven't you? Michael, where is Estonia going to finish this year?
Next.
Oh, there we go.
Can I just say, you know what? It's as said before, it's a song, and it's a song contest. No. Next.
Right. Okay, guys. As the man said, next, San Marino. Wow. Do you know what? I had someone message me today who wasn't Stu, for the record, and said, "What are the odds on San Marino to win? I'd really like to put a bet on San Marino to win the Eurovision Song Contest." This is a country that has only qualified for the final 2 times and basically only sent about 3 different artists on a rotation for the last 10 years. Obviously, the rotation still kind of continues. They're sending Senhit again, who should have gone across last year with the song Freaky. She's singing Adrenalina, which happens to have someone who you may have heard of called Flow Rider, who's doing more than blowing his whistle in this song. He's actually doing a bit of rapping as well. Let's go straight across to Elliot. What do you reckon of this song? What do you think of it?
It's good. It's a good song. I will give it that. I do think some of the hype and love through it is slightly pushed up because it's San Marino and we just expect him to turn up, have a good time and go home on Tuesday. It's not a bad song at all, and Senhit will sing this well live because she can sing live well. We've seen that. My biggest issue is that it's such a filler song. It's filler. Like, you can tell this song was sent to Melfest because it's got 11 songwriters on it. What song needs 11 songwriters for a 3-minute song? It has been sent to Melfest, probably with Alvaro Estrella on it and Mendes, been rejected, or Alvaro said, I don't want to sing that, and so they've gone, right, who wants to buy this song? And we know Senhit has the money to do it because she got outbid for Cleopatra last year. So she's clearly gone, I want that, thrown everything they can at it just to make a statement, and it's done that. But I just think when we get to the final on the Saturday, because it will be in the final, it will get them their best result. But again, like, their best result's what, 20th?
19th.
So, 19th. But I think this will be the shock in the final because I don't see this doing anything. Like, it's fun, it's nice, you know. Will Flowrider be there? Will he not? It's a great PR move from them, to be honest, to get this hype around beforehand. But if he can't be there because of the, you know, restrictions, people are going to feel cheated and pretty pissed off by that. I do think, like, if the UK sent this, or San Marino, or not San Marino, or Sweden or Norway sent this, no one would bat an eyelid, but because it's San Marino, everyone's losing their bloody minds over it. It's good, but it's nothing amazing, I'm sorry. Like, the beat's good, but the lyrics are... they're pretty naff, come on, like... I'm sorry. Like...
DJ Elliot casting his view there. Notice this. He's like...
It's nice, but it's not the winner that everyone seems to be claiming it's going to be. I mean, come on, let's be real. It'll be lucky to make the top 15, I think.
Oh, guys, scathing. Jude, come on, San Marino. He's dropping some fat beats, surely, Flowrider. He's going to beat this into the top 5, surely.
What do I know? Okay, in 2012, I was convinced that the bop that was Mandinga was going to bring it home for Romania. That was my song that year. This is similar. I just love this. It makes me happy. It's like musical Prozac. However, I don't see it winning. But it gets my foot tapping, it makes me happy, and I really, really like it. I do have to agree with Elliot that I think perhaps people are making a bigger fuss of it than they would if it was a bigger country. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I also get very strong, Oben, I'll have to ask you, I get very strong Fuego vibes from this. I was letting my best friend listen to it, and he said, that sounds a lot like The Girl with the Fire, Cats Out a few years ago. And I actually do think it's got Fuego vibes. Curious to hear what you all say, but I absolutely love this. It makes me happy. It's my Eurovision Prozac of 2021.
Do you know what? We're going to have to go straight to Oben. Oben, come on, Fuego vibes, yes or no? What are we thinking?
Only thing is different than Fuego is that instead of the, you know, that slow bit and the smoke came in with the Fuego, there's fluoride that kicks in. It's the same amount of seconds. I enjoy. I have, you know, I am a huge fan of showgirls, big pop numbers and stuff. But Senhit has turned into since 2020 journey. It's an absolutely freak show, and too. It's she's playing too hard for the what's it called, the art gigs, LGBT community. This old Lady Gaga vibes and this, yeah, let's go crazy. This LGBT community will support us, and let's turn whole thing into freak show. And this freaky tour to Rotterdam, it's it's joy, but is this what I really wonder? Okay, she did this 2020, 2021, finish Rotterdam, finish. Will she keep doing this, or she'll go back to her first participation style? I really don't think this is her style. This is just a gimmick. This is just a freak show, just to make some name out there. And I cannot support this because I cannot see Senhit being this as an artist. She just doing this just for the show.
Okay, thanks for that, Oban. See, I have to say, I think, what we really need is a party at Eurovision this year. And I think San Marino brings the party with it. And I think we need a proper bop. And I think I would love to see this in the top 5. In actual fact, and I'm going to kind of edge away from Gustaf, even though I know there's thousands of miles, really. When I say this, I don't want any ballads in the top 5 this year. I want it full of absolute bangers. I want, a massive party. And I think Senhit brings this, and I think she's got a massive amount of potential there. And I think Flowrider complements the song more than anything else. I mean, Phil and Michelle, is Flowrider just a gimmick, or does he actually have something to offer?
I think it's a gimmick, to be honest. I think there's a lot of fuss about this because it's Flowrider. But so what? This is the Eurovision Song Contest. It's not the who can I get on stage who's famous with me contest. If he wasn't
quite passionate about this,
if he wasn't for Flowrider, this would be an ordinary-ish female banger. All right, it's a banger, but there are loads of other bangers in this contest, and it doesn't stand out. It's just, oh look, there's Flowrider.
Well, I love it when he gets excited like this. I don't like it.
Is that it?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Do you know what? I can fully understand. It's great to see you guys so passionate about it. I know someone who gets really passionate about these types of things, especially when bangers are involved as well. He likes lots of fire. It's my co-host, Stu. Come on, San Marino and Senhit.
Yeah, look, I agree with you. I want nothing but bangers in that top 10, Tom, let me tell you. This, I'm here for this. I love this song. I have to say, I think if you're a San Marino, where do you go? I mean, it's all very well saying they've gone a bit too far. Well, of course they're going to go too far because that's all they've got. We've tried all different types of stuff in San Marino. Most of it hasn't worked. We've tried Veneta for about 50 different times, and that didn't work. And now we've tried this, and that if you're going to do Eurovision well, as a song with a country with no history, go and throw everything at it, including the kitchen sink. And that's exactly what San Marino have done. By the way, whether it's a gimmick or not, the Flowrider thing is a masterstroke. Let me tell you, it's a masterstroke. If Flowrider finds his way to Rotterdam, and there's a good chance he won't, for various reasons, but if he does find his way to the stage in Rotterdam, can I cast your minds back to 2003 and 2 Russian young ladies who couldn't be bothered to turn up but still managed to get a top 3 for Russia? The same is going to happen. San Marino are going to not only qualify, but surprise and probably hit the top 5 in Rotterdam. One to watch. It's currently 40-1 in the betting odds. Go and place your bet. Easy money, Tom. Each way bet. There you go.
And once again, guys, I just have to remind you, please now cross San Marino off your bingo cards. I see Gustaf is already getting quite adept at this. I'm not going to lie, I may have actually put a bet on for someone on San Marino today and actually got 45-1. How crazy is that? Tristan, have you had a gamble on San Marino?
I did. I think I've got a little. I think I've got £2 each way on it, but not. It was. The odds weren't as good as that, so I'm going to put some more money on. Now you say that the odds have got wider. I don't think it matters that Flow Rider's there. It is. I mean, it's a gimmick, but did it matter that Dieter von Teese was on stage in the German song, that Miss Kiss Kiss Bang song? It certainly didn't harm Jade's chances that Lloyd Webber was there playing the fake piano during that song, and that was the gimmick, I suppose, because he didn't have to be there. I don't think it really matters. I think a lot of people are going to vote for it. It'll certainly get to the final. I think a lot of people will vote for it because it's San Marino, and they're going to be really curious to see how San Marino will host the competition next year, the following year. Of the bangers, I prefer Ukraine, obviously. I prefer Azerbaijan, and I prefer Latvia. But this is still in my top 10 overall. I think the song is really well composed as well. So yeah, go for it, San Marino. I'm really looking forward to Senhit's show.
There we go. See, some of us are championing the underdog here. Let's go to Michael as well. Michael, where do you reckon San Marino is going to place? Is this going to be their best ever year?
2008 called. They would like to give it back. Senhit has put us on a fantastic journey, and I thank her for the bonkers remixes of various Eurovision hits over the last year. And as a Eurovision fan, it's been a fun journey in the year, which has been really sad. I actually like this song. Well, no. Is Flow Rider a gimmick? Yes. Is it a bit by numbers? Yes. But it's Eurovision. It's fun. Come on, it's the best thing we're going to get somehow. That's for a long time. And I just say 2 thumbs up. I'll say this is in my top 10, and certainly a better banger than my culturally inappropriate Azerbaijan song. So it's a bit of fun and fairy floss, and I'm all for that.
Hey, cheers for that, Michael. Yes, this is what we like. Some positivity. Lots and lots of positivity. I believe there is only one panelist left to Gustaf. Oh, dear. Gustaf, come on. San Marino, positive. Think happy thoughts.
No, I can't. I tried, but I can't. So basically what happened is that San Marino was thinking, what can we mix together to make Gustaf absolutely hate this song? Then they put everything together, put it out, and here's the result. I cannot stand this song. I can't listen through the whole song. I just can't. I have tried so many times, but it's just not for me. I know that people love it. I know that it's probably going to do very well, but I would be very happy with it being a non-qualifier because it's just not for me. I don't even know what to say. It's just not even a song for me. Just a lot of noises and words that doesn't make any sense, and I would gladly skip it.
Oh. As an alternative option, I just recommend you drink lots of alcohol before you listen to it. You never know; there might have a good impact if you allow that into your heart, as it were. So that is 4 songs reviewed. Quick question for the panel, just to finish off. We've reviewed Australia, Ukraine, Estonia, and San Marino this evening. Interesting question. I just want to sweep around you all. Out of these 4 countries, which one will finish the highest? I know, it's an evil question. Hi. It's not Stu hosting tonight. Phil and Michelle, let's go to you first. Which of these 4 countries will finish highest?
I'm going to go Ukraine.
See, I think it should be Australia, but it probably will be San Marino, even though I hate that.
It should be Australia. It should be Australia. But I think Ukraine.
Okay, I think San Marino might be highest of these, but not that I want it to be.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Jude, which one's going to finish highest?
I think the Ukraine's going to finish highest as well.
Okay, Tristan.
I'd love to say Ukraine, but I think it'll be San Marino.
Okay, Michael.
Ukraine, maybe Australia, maybe San Marino. Definitely not Estonia.
Do you know what? You said Ukraine first. I'm going to pop you down as a vote for Ukraine. Oban.
Definitely without a doubt, it's Ukraine.
Okay, Gustaf.
I cannot say San Marino and be true to myself, so I'm going to say Australia.
Okay, Stu.
Oh, this is so hard, isn't it? I think the betting man would say San Marino, to be honest. But the right choice, I think, would be either Ukraine or Australia. And I think Australia have the most radio-friendly song of all of these four. I'm going to go Australia.
You're going to go for Australia. Okay, Elliot.
I'm going to agree with Stuart. Australia is the most radio-friendly song without it being off-putting. I think it's going to get a huge jury score. I think Australia will finish the highest.
Okay, and I'm going to go for Australia as well, which means we've got a tie.
Oh, great.
Tonight, people, we think jointly that Ukraine and Australia will finish highest. Noticeably, Estonia didn't get any votes from the panel. There we go. There we have it. 4 more songs reviewed. Guys, it's been an absolute ball this evening. Thank you so much for joining us in the chat room. A massive thanks to my panel. A big thanks to Phil and Michelle.
Bye.
Big thanks to Elliot.
See you later. I can't wait to watch this back after the semi-finals to see how wrong I was.
Hey, big thanks to Jude.
Thank you.
Big thanks to Gustaf.
Thank you, guys. And this is me smiling, so I won't leave on such a sour note.
Oh, I'll tell you what, hang on. Can we just go on. Hey. Big thanks to Tristan.
Thank you. See you next time.
Big thanks to Michael.
Hey, thanks all, and let's remember that you can be music fluid, okay? Like gender fluid, music fluid. Ballad can be a ballad if you want it to be a ballad somehow. G'day. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.
Hey, cheers, Michael. Big thanks to Oban.
Love you all. Thank you for this amazing night. It's been a marvelous show, Europe. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and as always, a big thank you to my co-host, Stu.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. Good show. And guys, don't forget to tune in next Friday when we'll be doing this all again. We're going to be reviewing Ireland, Finland, Spain, and Czechia. And then again on Sunday, we'll be reviewing Iceland, the Netherlands, Greece, and Georgia. It's going to be another good weekend, Tom, isn't it? Lots of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be another absolutely fantastic weekend. Gustaf's already getting into the groove of it, I can see. Dancing away there. Yes, we're going to be back Friday night, 9 p.m. Central European time. Be there. Start the weekend off right. Come and join us. In the meantime, click like and subscribe. Fill your boots with all the content that we've got on there. And we'll see you next week. It's bye for now. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.